Hi everyone. Guess what? The hoovering attempts have started up again. um, as you know, I've not really been making sort of many videos, especially about my own sort of like situations and my own healing. And I started, I suppose, posting proper ones about myself. 1st November. Now, the weekend before then, I stayed over at Heather's house, and we was actually mentioning about my mum, and that we'd not heard from her for such a long time. So we tried to stop the conversation. Don't wish her in, don't wish that energy back in. Now this week I've been having some weird dreams, and I've had a couple about her. I had one the other day. Sent Heather about it. We had a giggle about it. And I had one again last night. Very strange, because I had one about my daughter as well. That she was pregnant and she gave birth to a little daughter. But yeah, unfortunately she can't have kids, so it was a very strange dream, really. But yeah, and my mum was in that one as well. Now Heather's texted me today. And I've missed it because my phone's been on silent. I keep forgetting to put it put it back on after my lessons, because you've got to turn it on silent after in the lessons. I keep forgetting, so I keep missing calls and texts and things because I forget to put it on. So I've looked at my phone and I've had a message from her. I think it was about 4 o'clock and this was about 6, 7 o'clock. So I've replied. And she's told me that my mum's been in contact with her, basically asking why I haven't replied to her, as well as a lot of other things, not to do with me, but just to do with herself and her situation, and just loads of bullshit, really, loads of lies. Now I don't know if she's. I've sort of like rattled the cage and triggered her, because I know I've mentioned her a few times in some of these videos. And this is like a revenge sort of hoover, because she's given a little bit more information about my dad. That he should be around 67. Now she did tell me he was dead, so he won't be around at any age really. He might have been, supposed to have been, but the way it come across, it was like, he's still alive. And then his last known address was someplace up north, but around where I used to live, or where she used to live, in Blackburn. I can't be asked, I really can't. But it's just like a little breadcrumb. I'll give you a bit more information, Is this going to get your intention to get back? So I can get back into your life or whatever, or just to hurt you and trigger you. Apparently she's now cured completely of leukemia. She's not going back for checkups or anything like that, but she's still taking chemotherapy. I'm not quite sure on the procedure when it comes to leukemia, blood cancers, but luckily for me, my science teacher spent 20 years testing such medications. She was an analyst, testing new medications to go out on, for human consumption, and for cancers and all sorts of things. And we're doing cells at the moment. And cancers are part of what we need to learn. Obviously with radiation, also with the medications, how cells mutate. So I'll be able to find out this information anyway. But yeah, she's just, Heather's told me that she's just saying loads of stuff like, she's still got no immune system, which is understandable, going through the chemotherapy and all that. It takes a long time for your body to get back to normal, to build up, months and months and months and months. I think it can actually be up to a couple of years, actually, before it gets back to proper function, or the best it can anyway. But she's saying that she's not had she's not got an immune system, and she's had COVID, and she's recovered. That seriously would be a life-threatening situation for her. If she has no immune system and she has something like COVID attacking her. I mean, we know the effects on what it does to healthy people, that have an immune system. The long-lasting effects after, the the intensive care that they need. But she's saying that she was fine. It just doesn't add up. It really doesn't. So I've told her this straight away. I know exactly what it is. It's because apparently my mum's also invited herself round to Heather's for Christmas. So Heather said, no, sorry, you haven't got an immune system, and I don't want to be responsible for you getting poorly while you're here. So yeah, unfortunately, no. Which is understandable, nobody wants that on their head. Any empathetic person doesn't want to be the cause of somebody getting a nasty infection and possibly dying because they got no immune system. It's a big guilt trip, isn't it? And Heather doesn't want that on her shoulders, which I don't blame her one bit. But the goal for my mum, after months of not speaking to her, just inviting herself down again, and expecting Heather to go, oh, okay, yeah, I'll cook, I'll clean, I'll do this, I'll run around like a twat after you, and you can eat everything, fuck off back home again and not even do anything. That's the sort of person she is. It's always what she can get out of it, or how much damage she can cause in the process. It's just another hoovering attempt. But I do think that I'm the one that's triggered her. Just purely from my videos. So, I just said to Heather, this is the same patterns. It's the same course of fabrications, of lies, of facts, facts that she doesn't really know. It's like she said that she doesn't need to go back for any checkups. That's it. Now she's cured. She doesn't have to go back. I know for a fact you've got to go back every 3 months, at least for a year, if not a bit longer. Then it goes to every 4 months, and then it goes to every 6 months, and then every 9 months. And I'm not sure if it's now a lifelong thing for me, but I've not had cancer for well over 2 years now. Coming on to 3 years, and I'm still going back for checkups. I've even got an appointment for my next one, which is next year now, so April, May, June, maybe, May, I think so. I can't remember if it's every 6 or every 9 now, but yeah, it's an ongoing thing, because there is that high risk of it coming back. So to say that she's not going back for any sort of checkups, that's what they tell you. When you get your all clear, they say, right, we'll book you in for 3 months' time, check how it's all going. Do you know, it could have even been a bit sooner than that. Maybe even every sort of like 2 months for the first couple of, well, for the first 6 months maybe, and then went to 3, and then. But yeah, it goes like that. You don't just stop it dead and they don't come and call you back in. No, they make you that appointment there and then, and it carries on. As soon as you've been for that next appointment, they book you in again for the next session of whatever, updates and checks and general health. It just doesn't add up. But yeah, I said to her that it is just the same pattern as normal, just with a couple of little things changed or added, and she's still just her. It's mad, because we can see just how she is. We both just can't get our head around how she can blatantly lie and think that we're going to take it in, that we're going to pay attention to it, even now, after everything. You know, she's asking why I haven't replied to her email. And the first thing I said was, I did say that, you know, she might not reply to you. It's up to her, you know. And the response, you know, what you gave her was nothing really. You haven't done the work of, you know, explaining the lies and why, you know, and also correcting the lies that you've told the family, you know, about me. She's not even attempted to do anything like that, and it's not like she's thick, you know. She knows what I need for us to have a mother-daughter relationship, or even just a human-to-human friendship. I've asked her until I'm blue in the face for the information that I need, and she's now, well, you know, sorry if I caused you pain, and that's all I got, you know. Here's your dad's name, and sorry I caused the pain, and that was it. You know, about nearly 48 years of trauma and lies and manipulation. You know, if that was me and I was sending an apology for a lifetime of trauma to my daughter, my God, she'd be reading that fucking email for days, you know, with the apology. You know, so heartfelt, deep apology, you know, as it should be. But no, she doesn't get that. And she's not going to give that, you know. She doesn't want to apologise, and she isn't sorry. It's just an attempt to gain control over my brain again, to trigger me back into that state where she can control me and get what she wants from me, whatever that may be, you know. To be honest, I think it's just like a fucking revenge thing now, you know, because I have walked away for so long, and she's not getting what she wants. She can see me getting healthier, moving forward, doing things, having a life, and she's seeing that I'm gravitating around good people that she knows, and they're seeing a side of her, realising who that she is, and coming over to the dark side, which is me. Yeah, you know, understanding the situation for what it is, you know, seeing her for who she is, putting the, you know, the dots together, and, you know, doing the sums and coming out with the correct answer, instead of constantly putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 28,579 million and 2 and something else in a different answer this time, you know. It's just, it puts things into place, you know, everything makes sense. So when she comes at you with just all sorts of crap that doesn't make sense, you just know it's just an attempt to manipulate. It's an attempt to cause pain. It's an attempt to gain something, whether it be Christmas free with all the goodies, all the presents. You know, Heather's not shy when it comes to giving gifts and hospitality when she has people around. You know, she's an amazing cook, and she will cook. Oh my God, doesn't she cook? 'Cause she's a feeder. But saying that, it does last for a few days. You know, it is made for the intention of not having to cook for the next, 3-4 days. So there is a hell of a lot of food there for as and when people want it. You know, normal people would just have a little bit, you know, and eat when everybody else eats, you know. Maybe if they are feeling a bit peckish, you know, go and have a sandwich or something. But my mum's the sort of person that will sit there until it's gone, and not care if anybody else has got any or not. As long as her belly's full and she's got more, she'll be happy, you know, and then when it's all gone, she'll expect you to make her some more. Sit back and watch you make it, slave over it, clean up after, and then serve it to her, and then go home. But that's who she is. And I can't, well, we both can't understand how somebody can be like that, knowing that we know the truth. How can they still carry on like that? It's just incomprehensible. My brain just wants to go, wow. But not in a bad way. It's just like it is. It's just watching a dickhead being a dickhead and laughing and fuck off, dickhead. Don't be stupid. Go away. What's the point? What's the point? You know. And it doesn't matter how much you try and slap her in the face with the truth. You could, like I was saying to Heather, you could tattoo it across her whole body. You know, she's a big girlie. And then tattoo it across the fucking universe, and she still wouldn't be able to see it. She'll still ignore it. Still pretend that it's not there. And not react. Other than, you know, just be her normal lying, twisting, fucked up self. But yeah, it affected me last time. When she sent me that email. But I've got to a stage now. I really have. Even if she did tell me who my dad was properly, to be honest, I can't be asked. You know, I know who my dad is. I grew up with him. My step-granddad. He brought me up as his own. That is my dad. That's who I always called Dad when I was growing up. And the only reason that I stopped calling him Dad was when I found out that he wasn't my dad, and who my mum was, and who they were, granddad. You know, I just didn't feel right calling him that. I still liked calling him Dad, but when it come to detaching from who I was calling my mum, who was my gran, you know, I was quite happy not to call her mum. It was like a detachment from the trauma. No, you're not my mum. You don't have that control over me anymore. Okay, you're my gran. This is my mum. Which, little did I know at that time, it was out the frying pan into the fire. But I know now, I've learnt, you know, paid attention, put all the dots together, and come out with the right answers. Yeah, it's just funny to watch, and now it's funny and it's sad. It really is. That somebody can be that delusional and not want to fix things. Have the opportunity there just to be truthful, open and honest. You know, be their authentic self. You don't have to hide when you're around me. You're not going to get any badness from me. You know, if you come and open yourself up to me, I'm going to take that as an apology. I'm going to take that as the biggest form of trying to say that you're sorry. Is come and be yourself. Just be emotional. Show what you're feeling, why you're feeling it. And I'll do the same. But not in an aggressive, nasty form. You know, I'll be honest and open and try and help fix a problem. You know, I don't like having conflict with people. I hate it. I'm not that sort of person. You know, having to avoid people and not talking to people, you know, because of certain behaviours, that's what it is, you know. And not being honest and open. When somebody can be honest and open with me, and even if they are afraid to do this, to do that, you know, I'm not gonna get all pissed off and get angry and kick off, you know. I'm not that sort of person. I'm way past that stage. I am the total opposite, you know. I come from understanding, I come from love, I come from abuse, so I know what it feels like on many levels, to be trapped in something that you don't like, whether it be your own head, whether it be a family, relationship, work, whatever, you know. I know what it feels like to be trapped and not like yourself. Yeah, I break bridges, but I can also build them back up again, you know. But it depends on if that other person does the work too, you know. It's give and take, pull and push, keep the flow going, you know. I give, you give. I give good, you give good, you know. Instead of I give good, you take good and give back bad. You know, that's not flow of energy, that's blocking energy. And I'm fed up of that, you know. So I'd rather stay away until somebody's at that stage of realising who they are, how they've behaved, and if they come to me with an open heart wanting to fix it, then fair enough, you know, well done, much respect to that person. Not everybody's capable of that though, are they? Not everybody can see the damage that they've caused. You know, just emotional, mental, physical, financial, you know, it's all abuse, it's all being used for gain, you know, it's all using someone for your own gain. And it's been done in a nasty, vindictive, twisted, sick way, when all you got to do is just be genuine, be loving, be kind, you know. That's all I ask from anybody, be open and honest, you know, that's all I ever ask. And I won't kick off because you're being honest and open about who you are to me. Your thoughts and your feelings, I'm not going to use them against you. I'm going to help you deal with it, you know. That's the sort of person I am. Especially now because I've dealt with my own problems, my own pains. And I can see it from the right points of views, you know. I can see it from a neurological sense. I can see it from a spiritual sense. But then that's up to the person, isn't it? If they want to heal like that or not. But I always give them the opportunity. I'm always there with open arms. Anybody that wants to heal, build bridges again. Just say hello. Can we talk? Easy, innit? And then let it flow from there. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going back to what my mum's email. It was just, yeah. It was just, that's it. There was just no emotion behind it at all. Yeah, forgive me. I'll give you nothing, and I'll hurt you even more. Let me back into your life so I can continue hurting you and look like a good mum because I'm back in your life. No. Not for me, I'm afraid. But yeah, toxic people will do this. They will continue. Even when everybody else can see just how manipulative they are. It really is sad that their brain functions in such a way. But that's not my problem. That's not my fault. And I'm not going to change who I am or my beliefs or the way I act just to have that connection back with a parent. No. Blood is not thicker than water. You just don't have to stay in that sort of toxic cycle with anyone. And just because they're your family, it doesn't make them any different. They're still causing harm. They're still not fixing the problem. They still want to control how you act, how you feel, what you do, in so many different ways. And they just want to use you for whatever reason, and keep you stuck. Those aren't people to be around, not at all. If it was anybody else doing it to you, you'd soon fuck them off. But when it comes to your family, it's harder because, we've got this misconception that it's your family. You've got to honour your family no matter what. No, you don't. It's toxic families that made up that. It's a way of controlling your family to stay quiet in situations that you shouldn't stay quiet in. It's manipulation, control over the outcomes of things, over the outcomes of people's futures, people's lives. It's just not good. But anyway, that's me. I've had my vent now. And I know for a fact she's not going to affect me like she did last time. I know where I stand completely now. I have evolved, and she is just another test from the universe, and just a massive deterrent not to go back there. And it just shows how far I've come, how much I've healed. And it's brilliant, it really is. I can't actually put into words properly just how I feel. Oh God, freedom isn't the word. Overjoyed isn't the word. There just isn't a word big enough for what I feel, or any word available to explain just everything. It's just it's mind-blowing, but I'm enjoying it very much so. And yeah, I'm not going to go back to the old me. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Sorry I've waffled on again. I just thought I'd chuck that in as just another example of toxic people trying to hoover you in when you've triggered them. Because it only takes a little bit to rattle the cage, and they come in with all the same tricks. I used to fall for it, not anymore. So anyway, thank you very much everybody for watching, liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and all your support. Without you, without the good people around me, I wouldn't feel compelled to do this sort of thing. I wouldn't be compelled and determined to move forward and share my experience with others and help others heal. I hope everybody that's out there that's moving forward, and I know that you are. There are people out there. I know some of you don't actually feel like you are, but you are. You come to this channel, you're learning, and the information sinks in. I know it does. It's when I'm talking about stuff and something like goes click, light bulb. Oh God, yeah. I recognise that. Oh my God, I'm the same. I've done that. Somebody doing that to me. Yeah, that was my experience. If I'm helping you, you're helping me. Because it's proving that what I'm going through and what I've gone through and everything I know is worth sharing and helping other people. So if you can, and you feel safe enough to, please share any of my videos with, well, not with anybody, you know, on your platform or whatever, but don't tag anybody in them. It could cause problems, it could cause triggers in people, it could cause partners to kick off, and all sorts of things. So yeah, it's not worth it. So if you can share, but don't tag anybody, please. Thank you very much. So I shall keep you posted. You know, never know, I might get like an email that's going to take you 3 days to read of apologies, but I doubt that very much. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye now.